What's up, Dad?
What's up, Dad? What's up? What's up, Dad? What's up?
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
What's up, everybody? This is the What's Up, Dad podcast. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that one.
I was not
Getting
ready.
started here. We got a quick episode here for you guys. I know we've done a lot of rapid fire stuff. We got a lot of different things happening, but we're testing some stuff out. And what I wanted to talk about today, Ryan, was behind the scenes. Let's talk about a little behind the scenes stuff. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of a podcast. Maybe have one serious question, right? And if it's 10 minutes long, it's 10 minutes long. If it's 30 minutes long, congratulations, we've gotten that far.
Sure.
Then you guys are probably pretty bored, but hopefully you stay around to the end so you get a little bit about the podcast. So my question, opening it up for you, how's it been? We are 10 episodes or so in recording this. You having fun yet?
Yeah, I'm having lots of fun.
Cool. So he's having fun. That's exciting. All right. Man of many words tonight. I'm excited about it. This is good. This is good. No,
There's no bourbon on the table.
there's no bourbon. We haven't
I'm
cranked it
drinking
up.
water.
We're doing something. I guess it's all different tonight. I don't know what else to say, but heck, it's so different. I have a napkin to write. I don't even have a piece of paper.
We got
right?
a book. Is this book part of the
Books-
podcast?
I don't know what the book's
Just a
for.
random book. Here we
A
go.
lot of it's different. This is the behind the scenes. I think this is the atypical aspect. I've realized where I struggle at substantially. I realize where you're freaking crushing it at with different things. There's so many moving pieces to the behind the scenes for a podcast, especially one that, in my opinion, is getting pushed, right? We're trying to push it to get it out there, to get some traction, to make stuff happen. You know, we talk about the statistics behind a podcast that is, doesn't make it past 3 episodes. We've made it beyond that, and at some point in time, your balloon gets a little deflated. I don't feel like we're deflated. I'm just thinking like, hey, what's next? Where are we going? Because we've had some unique episodes. If you've seen this, you're seeing really great stories come from different guys. We've had our wives on for a podcast. You know, we dropped the whole number series of things. We're making major changes. We've updated the overall look of this. I mean, it's starting to come together. We got the ambiance, the stuff happening.
Yeah.
But like, what's next? Where do we go? So that's
Mhm.
my question for you. What do you think? Where's your headspace at, Ryan? Where are you at with this?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think that we've a couple of things that we've done recently. We're trying to change up the marketing a little bit. We might have some I know we're talking about doing cover art
Yep.
instead of the logo,
That's true.
which, even doing that's kind of sad because um the logo is nice, but doing some more professional, like eye-catching.
The logo's still part of
uh,
it.
Yeah, it's still part of it, but it just trying to change it up to make it unique and different. I think that there's a lot of podcasts out there who try to do similar type of things, and I've listened to a couple of them, and they just don't hit home. You know what I mean? They're getting a lot of listeners, they're getting a lot of like follows and likes, but when you listen to the actual content and the things that they're talking about, it's kind of flat, so it would be nice if we could really work to get our content and the conversations that we're having out there, because I think that they're very valuable to the community. So yeah.
All right. So I got 2 questions to ask you because of that, right? Because we're working together and we're going through this, and this is for the listeners and for us, right? And in that whole perspective. So it's not just a Ryan question, but are our topics not right?
Is or our? Which one are you going with?
Are our topics.
You went to Clark State, so I need to know which one you're going with.
ARE, not is topics. That doesn't
Okay.
make sense. Are our topics wrong? Should we mix in something? Should we give the people what they're wanting to hear? Or do we stick true to the course where it's like, guys, we're going to get to the heart. We're getting to the heart. We're getting somewhere. So do we and I think that's a real awkward question. I know what I want to do. Right. But, hey, we're having a real thing. This is unscripted. Yet again, we have a very unscripted podcast. I've thrown this on Ryan to do something different. We're sneaking in some episodes and trying to get ahead of the curveball. Right. But like, that's a question I have.
Yeah.
Should we change up the topics? Should we give the people what they want? Should we have a Super Bowl episode?
Well, I guess my question is, what do the people want? Don't they want the podcast that we're the stuff that we're doing now, you know?
I would assume so, but here's the thing, and here's the most, and I realized today saying this to my staff, I don't know if the word's infuriating. I don't know what that exact, like, I think I'm saying it wrong. It sounds right. And the more infuriating. That's what the more I hear and like talking to guys and they're like, oh, it's great. I love listening to your podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so why don't you sign up for it?
Mm-hmm.
And like they feel like they don't have anything to offer, you know? And so it's like, that's what I feel, that bubble gets burst at some point in time, and it leans back more on us because at some point in time, and let me give you the whole devil's advocate point is, if we were just talking about OSU sports, Pete, the OSU got on right, anybody that's an OSU fan would want to sit here and talk about it. They could get on the podcast and they'd be like, I'd love to have a conversation with that. I have an opinion about, you know, JSN with the Super Bowl and the Seahawks, or I have an opinion with Will Howard and will he ever play in the NFL? I have an opinion with Julian Sayin, the quarterback now. You know, like I have an opinion because I'm a dude and I'm supposed to have an opinion and I can speak freely about it.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, it's infuriating, right? It's like these guys will have an opinion and can get on and bullcrap about an opinion of that, but they won't spend the time to talk about the other stuff.
Yeah. So here's my thought on that. I think that, and we've already talked a little bit about this. One, don't care if they get on or not, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if they don't want to get on, they don't want to get on. What we are doing and the conversations we're having are really good, you know, and they're necessary, raw, real, relevant. Don't know if that's the order, but
it's not, but it's okay. I like
the 3 R's. So I think my initial reaction to what you're saying is I agree, but don't care if they get on or not, because at the end of the day, they're choosing not to join. They're choosing not to join community. They may have a great topic or they may have a great story that they could share. We've asked them 1,000 times. They're not getting on. I'm not talking about just like your friends or mutual friends.
There's
or
nobody
my friends.
in general.
It's just very general. Yeah. So, so that's one piece. I think number two is that as we have these conversations, folks that are in our maybe even outer circle will be interested, which we probably have seen that, right? They'll be interested and they'll want to join. In fact, out of the 3-4 guests that we've had, only one is like someone that we're collectively close to, right? I mean, the other couple of guests kind of, you know, so that's interesting.
Sure.
Right. And so I don't know. I think that there is room for more of that. And I think that if people want to get on board, that's great. If they don't, that's also great.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious, right?
Let it roll.
So let it roll. And I'm cool with that. And like, I guess the follow-up question to that is, at any point in time, do we try to, you know, we've done food reviews and we've done product reviews and we've been fun and like so many different things. At some point in time, do we add in like actual sports talk? Do we actually do that? Is there a segment to which the episode would carry that or have that? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that because I don't want to ramble off on it. And that's my opinion up front. Yeah. Now, the conversation that we led with Justin, right? You know, which if you've seen the episode or not seen it, or if it's aired or not, right? Wherever we're at.
We have no idea.
Yeah, wherever this one's going to fall. But like the conversation with Justin, for example, that was his story. Basketball was a part of his story. So asking and kind of integrating into sports and trying to have knowledge of it built a backbone to the character, right? The person, the persona that we were speaking to and having conversation with. So I don't know. I asked you a question, then I answered it and not letting you, but yeah, I mean, what is your thoughts on that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, by the way, the whole time I'm sitting here, this chair is awful.
Yeah.
This is, you know, some behind the scenes, the chairs.
Bro, I'm sitting on a wooden chair right now. I don't want to hear it. Like, I'm sitting on a wooden chair. I changed
I kind of like, do I normally sit in this chair?
Normally sit in that chair.
Do I normally sit right here?
Yeah.
This is, all right. Yeah. Something about the chair tonight is like.
It's just happening. See? That's the behind the scenes podcast.
I feel like I should be like this, like way back here.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know.
Funny.
But I did sit. There's another chair off camera here. You guys can't see it. It's a really nice chair.
bring
I
it.
sat in it, and I still got this chair. So
You bring that chair over. I
I'm
don't
not
care what
allowed to
you
have
sit
the
on.
chair.
That was given to us by reviewing, and that one was reviewed, and this was bought with my hard-earned money, and you know.
So of the 4 chairs, four options, we're sitting in the 2 worst.
Yeah, the 2 worst
options.
ones. I'm literally sitting on a wooden chair. But
no, okay, yeah. So, and what was the question? Now I'm
like, is
completely-
there going to be at some point in time context and us leading or having context around sports or around maybe more worldly, culturally appropriate conversations, right? Because that's what. Here's part of where we go deep, guys. That is where the culture and world wants us to be. In the surface level, flesh level stuff, not below it, not in the heart, not in anywhere else digging.
Yeah, it's
right?
uncomfortable.
It's so do we at every point in time, do we have that? Is that coming? Is that here? Where are your thoughts about that? Like in a segment, right, of the episode, is there a possibility for it?
Yeah, I mean a segment for sure. Something fun.
Okay.
Talk about sports. What's up sports? I don't know. We could come up with whatever we want to do. Does it get baked in as like a main piece? I don't think so.
Well, there you have it. We don't think so.
We
And
don't
I'm
think
okay
so.
with that. I'm okay with it. I think that's the essence, right?
Yeah.
And guys, if you have feedback, and that's part of it, like if you have feedback, we still want to hear that though. And
Yeah.
if we can create a spinoff or create something that will generate more, which will lead in, because there's another part of this which we also have to be realistic about, is that men need to be able to connect before they can connect.
Yeah.
And so maybe they do have to connect via sports before they can connect via the heart, right?
Sure.
Maybe we do need to lead with a little bit with the flesh before we can lead with the, like, come in with heart conversation. So realizing the growth of the podcast, where that may go, obviously we don't shut it out, but it's something, there's only so much time. Producer Beth would tell you she wants these to be 45 minutes long, right? And what does that mean? So we only have 45 minutes, and that means we're shooting a lot more 45-minute episodes to try to get to the point at some point in time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I think that we don't want to limit it because to your point, some of these conversations we get into like minute 40
Yeah.
and the deep stuff starts at 41 minutes in.
Yeah.
So and then if you cut it off at 45 minutes, you're basically it's a wrap. But yeah, I think I'd be interested in here's what I think is happening with the podcast. I think you and I have grown in understanding what we're doing and how we're doing it, and we have experienced that door open upstairs multiple times.
It's happening right now.
And kids coming down. Maybe it's producer Beth. Maybe
Could be.
she's brought down a wonderful brownie treat.
Something. Cookies, brownies, bourbon. I don't know.
Yeah, or it's someone about to shoot us with a Nerf gun.
Hey,
one of the two. You never know what's going to happen.
That's behind the scenes podcasting.
That's
though.
behind
like,
the
that's
scenes.
hilarious, like, right? Like that's so
It could happen. It could happen. But I think that we've matured with the podcast, and every new listener or every new guest is not where we're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So we're like wanting to bring them up to speed and into that conversation. And so, but sometimes I don't think that we can do that necessarily the best way, or I think it's hard to do that sometimes because of nerves, because of uncertainty of sharing. But I think that there's some hard hitting topics too that we haven't touched on. I know folks, you had shared like, hey, what would be some good topics? And there were some good ones shared that I think, would be nice to get into at some point. How we get there and how we do it, I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. So people not being where we're at, right? So let's take that as a conversational point for a minute. So if people are not where we're at, part of it's because they don't know. We're scared to have this one take wonder of a conversation here. So we're scared to just hop on, make it happen. So I would offer a question of, and this is for listeners and people that are maybe interested and haven't pulled the trigger on this. I would offer the question, would it be beneficial for you to have a conversation, and would you want to know more about what's on the podcast? Would that make you less nervous or unsure about what may or may not be said? Because here's the deal. We're not going to question your biblical knowledge and all the books of the Bible and how many laws were in the Old Testament and this, that, and
Yeah.
another. We're not going to pick on any of those things.
We don't even know the answer to that.
611. But like at the end of the day, that's the only one I know. But like at the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and like pick on those things and make and make you feel bad. But I also want that real, raw, relevant perspective catching you on the fly. And men, it's interesting when you give time for men to think. We lead with the flesh, and we get we remove our heart because we think about how manipulation is not the right word, right? But how do we sound big, or how do we sound proper? How do we like that fit and finish? Like we've got to be manicured and fit and finished properly, right? There's that level that men need to present themselves with. Or look to present themselves with, and the polar opposite is true for women of like, you know, going out and wanting to have their makeup on and having to look right and stuff like that. Men have that same version. So catching a man off guard in their words is extremely tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people have a huge fear of that. So
yeah. And I just want to comment on something you said about we're not calling people out, but we're also not afraid to share the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
And even to the point of, you know, maybe it's not biblical truth that we're necessarily getting into, but maybe it's our truth as far as our hearts or our understanding about certain topics or certain things. So, you know, and that's where if you're going to be a guest or somebody on here, you've got to be ready for, again, no one's getting shamed, no one's getting talked down to necessarily. It's, you know, be a part of the conversation and
be willing to learn.
Yeah.
Be willing to learn. I mean, we had you know, Mike on here, and I hope he gets to listen to this. And we had a great conversation around baptism. You know what I mean? And not to say we were right, wrong, or indifferent in whatever context you're hearing everything. And I don't want to sound like I'm the right one or you were the right one or whatever it is, because
I was right, but yeah,
you know what I mean though. And I'm trying to like because it's hard to say that, like, so people think that we're telling off people. No, that's not, like, in the conversation, us being able to speak truth to one another's, and that's right. But he was extremely receptive and understanding perspective of it.
Yeah, and I got to say something, because I was thinking about that when we shot that podcast, and after we shot, the whole time I was thinking like, man, what an opportunity!
Yeah,
like what an opportunity God gave us to even bring it up, even discuss it. And we're not talking about Michael in particular, but it could be anybody that's listening.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good for my soul, like to have some of that conversation. Same with Justin. I mean, these are good.
Nick has reached out. I mean, multiple people have reached. You're exactly right. Everyone. We need podcast, like the podcast after dark. You know what I mean? Like, we need the after. Like, all right, the show's over with.
The after dark.
Let's. You know, we truly need that, because I tell you what, we just scratch the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason has itched to get back. I think after his show aired, he like hit us. I remember, hey, I'm not coming on again. I'm like, bro, it's a little soon. You know, we wrapped
up, and he's like, all right, next one.
Yeah,
like, all right, let's do it.
But I love the enthusiasm, and I think that's where we get to. But it's funny, right? The 41st minute is where that occurs, and we're running only about 15 minutes of that conversation. And then what you don't see is, because in all honesty, these people arrive. Like our podcast that we're doing tonight, these people arrive and we're recording like darn near immediately. Like we're not having we have a 3-minute powwow of watch your language, right?
Yeah.
And you know, are you ready? And we're going to help you veer it, right? And do you have any serious questions? And 9 times out of 10, there's no questions. 9 times out of 10, we are just straight go for it. And so they have no idea. We have no idea where it's going to go. And we literally just let Jesus take the wheel. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I truly think it is that, because I would have never guessed multiple ones of these conversations would have gone that direction. Heck, the Wives Tell All podcast, I would have never guessed we would have broke into the conversations that we did. I mean, I didn't realize how much of a spender you were. No, I'm just kidding. So,
but yeah, I agree. I don't want to cut you off. I think that I thought you were getting to this a little bit, but I'll kind of pick it up. There's so much behind the scenes, and there's so much time that we commit to this. it's not the end of the world time, right? It's not
Yeah.
like but I mean, we're spending time away from our families to do this. We're spending time away from things that we could be doing. When we're not actually recording, there's hours and hours that go into uploading, editing, marketing, posting, all of this kind of stuff that we're doing. Take all this out. I mean, we could be doing whatever we want to be doing.
Exactly.
I think that, we're passionate about the mission. And even though it's not necessarily all quote unquote dad conversations, we've been getting, I think, a little bit more diverse. I think it's always been diverse probably, but we've had some really mature men discussions,
Yeah.
women discussions, so yeah, anyhow.
No, that's true though, but that's what makes us dads, right? Dads are not cookie cutter machines. We have sports, we have this, we have cooking, we have 3D printing, we have blah, like we have
Bowling.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we have so much baked into it. We have this background and that background and what makes us who we are today. And I think men take shape from so many different angles than like again an atypical woman would take a shape in how we do stuff. I mean, so that's that kind of that perspective that I bring to the table. So all right. We talked about tweaks or changes that listeners can expect going forward. Honestly, just minimal aspect. I think we're going to try to, you know, continue to make some small tweaks along the way. We're going to get back to the long format episodes. My call out to people, if you've made it this long, I probably should have said this at the beginning. I feel like we have a great listening time frame on the people that are truly listening to it. I'd recommend listen the first 5 minutes, skip to about minute 41. Right? If you got to time crunch it or put it on 2.5 speed, and you'll be done in 20 minutes and boom, like crank through it. And when you get to something, slow down and take a deep breath and like hear what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. Cause I do think, and that's atypical podcast. People listen to it in spurts. Right. And YouTube and Buzzsprout doesn't pick that up. And that's a thing for you guys as listeners. So are we going to see different things? I don't know. We do have some different formats we are working with, links and time frames we're working with, some shorts and stuff. But outside of that, staying true to the guests and cool things that we have going on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that the food reviews are cool, product reviews, they're
Still want it.
average. But
we can need cool products.
We need cool products. I'm just joking. I think that, but yeah, if you're someone that's like, hey, I just want to know, I want to be in the meat and bones of the podcast. I mean, there's ways to, not listen to that other fluffy, fun stuff. But yeah, you got to keep it entertaining. You got to keep it fun. And again, not a lot of people are doing this, and the people that are doing it, again, you had mentioned at the beginning, they're getting 3 or 4 podcasts and they're kind of fizzling out from there. So we got to do some other stuff. We got to keep it fun for us too, right? I mean, it's got to be engaging, and so yeah.
So hopefully we can release more. One of the things I want to do is allude to more conversational pieces so you guys can know what's coming on the podcast. So not just sound bites, but maybe throwing in some real stuff. So I'm hoping that can come in the future as well too, so you can get a little more backbone. If you notice, we have like timelines of when things are happening. We've added in a lot more like what I call AI tech in the background that's allowing like the stuff to be seen a little bit more. So I encourage you to look at that, and that'll give you bullet points of maybe that is of interest, and you'll know a little more ahead of time, and that guides you in the podcast as well. So
Yeah.
I don't think this is really a question, but more so of just like staying true to the core mission as well, the What's Up Dad, like staying biblical, staying understanding of dads and stuff like that. So I don't think any of that's changing. I have no interest in changing my biblical principles, for anything. So we can glaze over that.
Are you chat GBTing it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I talk to it. You gotta understand, like I talk.
You talk to your chat GPT? Yeah.
Susie knows me.
He knows.
It's not he, it's a she.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if, well.
She's got different names depending on the day.
Susie, Mike.
There's no mics.
Jenny.
No mics. No mics.
Okay.
That's funny. All right. Last thing as we go to hop off here. And again, we appreciate you guys. How can listeners support us? Like in all reality, how can they support us?
I think that one, provide feedback, provide communication with us, give us something like, it's like hey, are you out there? Oh yeah, we're here. Because I think sometimes we might be in a little bubble. We're doing all this content's going out where you can see downloads, you can see where they're coming from. Shout out to Mexico, by the way. There's someone in Mexico that listens every single time.
That's cool.
I've watched it, like they will listen every single time. Les Cruz. Do you know someone from
No
Les
idea.
Cruz,
No
Mexico?
idea. Don't have anybody.
Shout out to that person, whoever you are. Reach out. But there's people like that, and we've never talked to them, but they listen to our podcast routinely. So talk to us, interact with us, send us a letter, send us a carrier pigeon, something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ways of feedback, and I agree. It would be nice for some different version of feedback. We're taking what we get from like our bubble, right, and we're trying to implement it, but hearing more from others. I would love to see more shares of the stuff.
I mean, I agree with that, but at the end of the day, it's, will that stuff come? Sure, but it, just to keep the thing, you know, moving and energized, like, okay, yeah, you like this content, you don't like the content, you're enjoying what's being said. I feel like that's more important to us right now, than like someone shared it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's important. I'm not saying it's not important, but yeah, get the word out there, all that kind of stuff. But it'd be really nice to talk to the folks that listen, because we do get, you know, we average 30, 40 unique listens right now.
Unique listens.
Unique
I think
listens.
that's the interesting. We see a lot of unique listens on the Spotify, Buzzsprout channels that are out there, right? They say Buzzsprout. That's just a listening service that feeds into everything. But at the end of the day, we're starting to get a little bit of quote unquote traction on YouTube. We're getting the listens there, and you know, various things. So again, I think any amount of feedback that can be provided would be fantastic on that, just so we can make sure we're firing on all cylinders, providing the content, not just that the listeners are looking for. Again, we're not trying to but figuring out to incorporate it in some capacity, right? If you want to see more confetti cannons, it's probably not happening. I still have confetti from the first 2 times, but like if you want to, but the reality of it is, if that was something that was engaging, let us know so we can know that to engage with that stuff, and that's what's important. And if there's a topic maybe you're not prepared to speak on, but you'd love for us to speak on, would love to have it. That'd be crazy important to see that. So
yeah, agreed.
But yeah.
And we're doing something new tonight that we've never done before.
A remote person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. So you don't have to be local. You don't. You could be anywhere. We're testing it out, testing the waters. I hope it goes well, right? We're using Riverside just like we should be. So that, I mean, it should go perfectly fine. I did 20 episodes on Riverside. So but it's,
yeah, I guess the first 20 were all remote.
Yeah, they were all remote, but like it's changed now. We didn't have image, and it's a lot of changes. So like I say that caution, like there's a caution piece to that, because I'm like, you know, I'm worried, like, if not necessarily if it's going to go well or not. It's just like we're trying to put up like a very high level product for you guys, and not just in the visuals, but the contextual piece and just understanding that. So we're excited. It's a lot going on. Super excited though. But all right,
good.
Anything else for them?
Good.
All right, Short Swing Podcast. Maybe once or twice a year we'll do one of these. So expect one in a couple, 3, 4, 5 months. So show you where we're at, and continue to thank you for your support and give you updates so you can know what's happening with the What's Up Dad podcast. But here's the behind the scenes. Check it out.
Check it out.
What's up, Dad? Hey, Dad. What's up?